What's up, y'all? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on the IE Network. And this is the Heaven Hollywood Report. And let's get to it. So it's finally over. Your boy R. Kelly has been found guilty on 9 counts, 9 different violations. Jurors, I'm looking here at this. This was from CNN. Jurors found R. Kelly guilty of racketeering, including acts of bribery and sexual exploitation of a child, along with separate charges of sex trafficking. Now, in the federal case, Kelly faced a total of 9 counts, 1 count of racketeering with 14 underlying acts that included sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, bribery, and sex trafficking charges. Okay, he was found guilty of 9 counts, 1 count of racketeering, and 8 counts of violating the Mann Act. Of the 14 underlying acts for the racketeering count, he needed to be found guilty of at least 2 to be convicted of that count. Jurors found prosecutors had proven all but 2 of the 14 underlying racketeering acts. Wow. It was said here, today's guilty verdict forever brands R. Kelly as a predator who used his fame and fortune to prey on the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless for his own sexual gratification. And that was Jacqueline Kucelis, acting U.S. attorney. She said the victims were brave for coming forward and telling their stories. To the victims in this case, your voices were heard and justice was finally served. So that documentary was really the sealing of his fate. All right? That documentary was the sealing of his fate. Listen, I'm going to say this. Um, and R. Kelly's attorney, Kelly had no reaction to the verdict. According to his attorney, he was not expecting this verdict. I don't know how he was not expecting it. His attorney said outside of the court, the government cherry-picked evidence to support its narrative. You didn't get to see what we saw in terms of the discovery. You didn't get to see all of the inconsistencies. I will say this. He could face, you know, he could face decades. He can get 20 to 30 years. Um, I would say this as I'm looking at the chart now. Now, granted, R. Kelly raped or sexually assaulted young girls. He deserves whatever he gets as far as that goes. But my thing is this. They added on this racketeering just to make it stick. Because when you look up the terms of racketeering, that's why when I first heard that, I said racketeering. They usually use that in like crime organizations and like the mob or whatever. So if you're saying racketeering, you're basically saying he was running a drug. I mean, not a drug. He was running a crime organization. Whether it was a sex trafficking, whether he was running a sex trafficking organization, whether he was running a, kidnapping or what have you. But racketeering usually involves more than just one person. Where's everyone else? If it's racketeering, how's it racketeering and only R. Kelly is being arrested and charged? I believe they threw that racketeering charge on there just to make it, seem more the wow factor, like racketeering. When you see that, you say, even if you don't really know what racketeering means, you just say, oh man, I don't know what it means, but he in trouble. Don't it? When you see the words racketeering, like I'm sure plenty of people don't even really know what the term means, but it just looks like a lot of years in jail, don't it? He's guilty of racketeering. Like, oh man, he gonna be doing football numbers. You ain't gotta know what it means, just the way it sounds. And my thing is this: raping women and raping kids. Minors. I'm gonna say minors, raping minors. Is unforgivable. Yes, and he deserves it. He deserves whatever he gets. But my thing is the parents and the women that finally came forth. If R. Kelly would have still had the bag, right? You're saying you got justice. If R. Kelly would have still had the bag, would you have ever said anything? That's my question to the victims. You're gonna get justice. You gotten justice, and rightfully so. But to the parents who was driving those children to R. Kelly, if he didn't run out of hush money, would you have ever said anything? Just want to know. And it's crazy how we always turn our own in. But Elvis Presley, Jimmy Page, all of those, Woody, what's his name? The guy who married his stepdaughter. They never turn in their own. You ever notice that? But we quick to turn in our own, boy, ain't we? Rightfully so. But just a thought. Read up on some of their people, and it's just as bad and worse as R. Kelly. But yet and still, they don't never turn in their own, but we quick to turn in ours. Nobody's fault but R. Kelly's, but just a thought. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.